are live from the locker room here at Mullet Arena, our final show until Tuesday, January 6th. So wishing all of you a happy holiday season. With so many underclassmen on Arizona State's roster this year, the Sun Devils needed some consistency year over year. And so far, there's been nobody more consistent than co-captain Bennett Schimek. The NCHC's leading returning point scorer picked up right where he left off, and he's been a pest for opposing teams through 12 games. Shim joins us now on Help Frozen Over. Appreciate your time. Thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right, so first things first, give us a vibe check on the guys who occupy this locker room right now. Coming off a huge win after that tough start through the first 11 games, how's the feeling in here right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, not the start we were looking for necessarily, but I think getting one up in Grand Forks last weekend was hopefully a big turning point for our group, and I think guys are just really looking to get back up on the ice Friday, Saturday to kind of build off that momentum.
All it takes is one, right?
Exactly.
At least you hope.
Yeah.
From a leadership standpoint, of course, it's really easy, it seems, to lead when things are going right, when everybody's pushing in that right direction. When you were named captain, I'm sure you thought about, all the good things, lifting trophies like you've already done so far this season. And a slow start. An underrated part of a leader is what they're able to do in the rough times. How have you guys navigated the rough times so far?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it like I said before, wasn't the start we were necessarily looking for, and I think like you said, when I was named co-captain, I was looking forward to lifting the trophies and being a leader of a really great team, and unfortunately that's not the start that we had. But I think Kyle and I have done a good job navigating the rough times and kind of getting guys to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I will say, though, it's times like this, though, that make those trophy-raising portions and the celebratory moments mean that much more later in the season.
For sure. I mean, you're going to face adversity at one point or another in the season. So, I mean, I think we're looking at it like, we're happy we got out of the way early, and we're kind of looking towards the good times now. But obviously, it's not easy to lead a team when you have kind of a slow start and a very young group that, is inexperienced and, hasn't seen a lot of these things in college hockey. But I would say, the other captains have done a great job as well, kind of keeping this group together. And I think everybody in the room is feeling a lot more confident and ready to go this weekend.
On that same note, how do you kind of stay positive? Because you're a guy who's been there, done that, right? Like you've been at Providence where you guys had success. You come here last year, we saw the success you guys were able to have after another rough start. How do you use those experiences, which is something Coach Powers has been saying for weeks now, using those experiences to turn things into a positive and an opportunity more than it is, an inconvenience or frustration?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome for a lot of the guys and a lot of the new guys this year that haven't seen, a lot of things in college sports to take a look back at, our team last year. Obviously we were kind of looking to avoid that,
Sure.
coming into this year. But guys, they can look back and see that, we've done it before and it's possible to kind of dig ourselves out of this hole. So I think that just gives guys kind of extra boost looking around and looking past last season.
I want to turn to you individually. They say, and I'm sure you've heard this saying, that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And it certainly seems like you must be in perfect health because you're averaging more than an assist per game, 1.5 points per game up to this point, really lighting up the score sheet. And it was no different up in North Dakota, especially in Game 2 when you had that incredible performance. What's working well for you this year, or is it just much of the same year over year?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of, I'm trying to just be consistent on and off the ice, sticking to my routine, sticking to what I do, and kind of just going out there and playing my game, and hopefully it works out for me.
Too humble. Brag a little bit. Come on. 1.5 points per game through 12.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
I mean, this isn't going to help me out here, but I mean, when I'm playing with Cruz and Sean, and I mean, the power play has been great.
Yeah.
It makes it easy on me. I mean, those guys are so talented, and if I give it to them, they're usually going to do the right thing. And I mean, the way Cruz is shooting the puck right now,
crazy.
I mean, yeah, helps me out in the assist category a little bit.
We had him on a couple shows ago, and he had nothing but good things to say about playing with you. So
yeah.
I know you guys have known each other a very long time.
Yeah, long time. And just having that chemistry I mean, we've been practicing together for, all year, and I think him being back to full strength is a big thing too.
Huge.
And I mean, we've played with each other since we were 12, 13. So
Yeah.
kind of knowing where he's on the ice doesn't hurt. And then when I give it to him, I know he's going to put it in.
Yeah, but you guys are doing things that you guys were doing in practice when you guys were younger on air now against the best college hockey players in the country. How fun is that?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's a dream come true, to be honest. I don't think if you would have told us back when we were 12, 13 that this would ever be possible or could ever be a thing. I remember when we were younger and we committed to different schools. That when we graduated Gentry, we kind of thought that'd be the end of the line, and then to have an opportunity to come back to Arizona State and play together again was just something I don't think either of us ever thought would be possible, and we couldn't turn it down.
Yeah, something you guys couldn't pass up. You mentioned the power play a moment ago, and I did want to ask you about that. You're no stranger to that unit, but over the last couple of series, you guys have had 5 forwards, including yourself, on your first unit. It's worked well from a production standpoint, but how does it change the dynamic of that unit and kind of allow you guys to have more of a buzz as 5 attackers out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's comfortable playing anywhere, and I mean, obviously, this is my first time running the top. Actually, funny enough, I ran the top when Cruz and I were 15.
Full circle.
They're doing stuff they're doing
Yeah,
there.
so when the idea was kind of floated past, I was like,
Why not?
I've done it before. It was 7 years ago, but I've done it before. Yeah, but I mean, all those guys are so smart and they can play anywhere. So having 5 guys, and I think 5 offensive-minded guys out there really helps. And I mean, all 5 of those guys are just killers too. So I mean, when they get a chance, they're not going to miss often.
Right. And you guys were looking for that spark on the power play unit. I want to rewind for a moment back to that North Dakota series. Tough game 1 after tying the game in the second period, but then just a fantastic effort on Saturday. What was your attitude? What were your teammates' attitudes from Friday into Saturday that kind of propelled you guys to be able to split that series as opposed to going home without a point?
Yeah, I mean, I think throughout the whole year, I mean, we've been so close, and I think everybody in our locker room believes we can play with anybody, and I think we proved that again on Friday night through 40 minutes. That I mean, we kind of came out a little slow, feeling out at the arena. I mean, it's the first time a lot of those guys have played on that big of a stage, so I think it was a little bit of a feel-out process in the first, and then we really found our stride in the second period. And then obviously the third didn't go how we wanted to, but I think the message going into Saturday was just, if we play a complete 60 minutes, like we can come out of here with a split. And that's kind of just what the message was in the room, and especially going into the third period on Saturday, it was just, keep our foot on the pedal and close it out.
Well, now you have that to build off of beyond that series too, so certainly an advantage.
Definitely.
Like between games, especially with all the energy that it took to come back on Friday night, how did you guys find it within yourselves not to get too low going into Saturday and continuing to believe? Because there was every opportunity where it could have been, oh man, we tried it again and it just wasn't enough. Maybe it's just not our weekend.
Yeah, I think we have a resilient group to begin with, and when you're kind of in that situation, we're sitting at 3-6-1. You don't really have a choice.
Sure.
We knew we had to get out there and get a win on Saturday night, or we keep going a little deeper in the hole. So I think everybody knew the stakes, and I mean, obviously it's early in the season, but it almost felt like a must-win game for us, and I think everybody kind of had that mindset going into the game, and it felt more like a playoff game than a game in November.
How good did that shorthanded empty netter feel? I'll add another shorty for Schimek. It's becoming like a regular theme for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, not as hot of a start as I did last year with the shorthanded goals.
That Air Force game, man.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, that was a good introduction to Sun Devil hockey.
We were like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
All right, he's half decent. Yeah. We'll keep him.
Hat-trick game on, 2 on the shorty. We'll take it.
Yeah.
That was my first time penalty killing in a long time too. So
That's awesome.
That was a little bit of a nuts start to my ASU career.
Penalty kill, shorthanded goal, empty net. That was pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, when I got that puck in the middle, I mean, a lot of times we don't like to, shoot the puck on an empty net from our side when it's 5-on-6. But being 4-on-6, I knew I could go for it, and I don't know, it was kind of on its edge, and then it took a couple skips towards the net, and
we were both holding each other up in the booth, like, is it gonna go? And then it went. And we were like, all right, pack it up. That's it.
When it hit the blue line, I knew it's going in, and it felt amazing. Obviously, there's a little bit of time left, but it kind of sealed the deal a little bit, and kind of took a sigh of,
Definitely.
breath of fresh air, and yeah, it was just it was a great moment for myself and the team overall.
Collective sigh of relief over the maroon and gold
For
there.
sure.
You guys have Denver this weekend. It's a team you're very familiar with. You guys beat 3 times last year, but of course they were the ones to end your season up in St. Paul. Do you still have any sort of bad taste in your mouth from that game, or is that kind of a thing of the past at this point?
You know, a little bit of both, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we don't like these guys.
Yep.
You know, having the history we had against them last year, and obviously, you know, they're a top program in college hockey. So, you know, when you line up against those guys, you know, it just means a little bit more. You know, knowing what they're capable of, you know, where the rest of the country sees them, it means a little bit more. I mean, back to last year, obviously they were the team to eliminate us from what everybody believed could have been a national championship, you know, winning team. So. Yeah, I don't know what else to say besides
bad taste lingering.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
On the flip side of that, another opportunity. How are you guys approaching the Pioneers this year and really propelling into your, you know, well into your November and then December slate of games?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they lost a lot of guys over the off season, but seems like they picked up pretty much right where they left off with some new guys. So we know it's going to take a full 60. You know. We know we're not going to get off it, you know, as easily as you know we may have against some other opponents. We just have to pull. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we got to put together a full 60 minutes, like we haven't done probably so far yet this season, and it's going to take that Friday and Saturday. You know, we know they're not going to go away. They're well coached. Very skilled, so it's going to take everything.
It just goes to show to me, like, the game is pretty simple to understand as far as, like, you know, moving forward and getting these wins, right? It's playing a full 60 and going out there and not letting up, but it's about doing that as opposed to talking about it.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. I mean, all these teams in our league are so skilled that, I mean, if you let off the gas for a second, you know, you look up on the scoreboard and they'll put 1 or 2 in the net, which has happened to us a couple times this year.
Yeah.
So we're looking to avoid that, and yeah.
But that also means you guys have the same opportunity.
Exactly,
so
exactly.
That's what we're rooting for. Well, I'll tell you what, the Sun Devils very grateful to have the leadership and the productivity of you, my friend. Bennett Schimek, appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with us. We got tacos outside you can go enjoy, and I know you got to head to class, so appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend. When we return to Hell Frozen Over on this Tuesday night, Coach Powers rejoins the show for the 3rd period. He'll help us preview Denver and the rest of the Sun Devils road ahead. Stick with us. Hell Frozen Over back in just a moment. Here on the Sun Devils Radio.